Yo, what is up guys? Boys here coming to you guys with a walkthrough of the Zero Stamina Blackbeard training forest. Now I know it's been a while. This island has been out for a long time, but I finally got around to doing it, and I gotta give huge shouts out to Yo Man for really suggesting this team and walking me through some of the tricky points of the dungeon. Overall guys, this is just a cool moment to showcase Gear 4 and showcase the semi-new 6+ Rayleigh, show you what he can do on the Gear 4 team. And let me just tell you guys, this is a pretty safe team. This is not an optimal run in any way. Really messed up a lot of times, but it's all good. And if by any chance you guys, before you go and say, this is super, pay to win, it is very possible to do this with a zombie team. So go ahead and try that. I was trying zombie team on stream and people really wanted to see something else, so I decided to show them this Gear 4 team, and overall it worked really well. We tried it once, we goofed up on one of the later rooms, we tried it again, and then we finally ended up doing it. Now the cool thing about this team is that it just is so powerful. You get so many different effects. You get characters that do multiple things. So for instance, Sanji is an MVP on this team because Sanji is an orb booster, which is cool, but at the same time he is a damage reduction, and we actually use him like most of the time. He's mainly gonna be damage reduction. Same thing with Marco, he's a healer but can potentially be an orb booster. Rayleigh could be a delayer. You got stuff like that, so it's really awesome. And of course Gear 4 Luffy gives you orbs, does massive amounts of damage with his special, and then on top of that he also does damage reduction. So that is really awesome to keep in mind. And so the first two rooms you saw there, we just attack normally. This room is where it starts to get a bit difficult. So the first thing that you got to keep in mind is that these guys have barriers, and there's 3 of them. I would recommend trying to take out the back, either the red one or the green one. Go after either Jabra or Lucci. It's kind of tough because you do get a negative orb debuff, so getting matching orbs is tough to do here. Taking out Rob Lucci, I didn't know what to do, so I went ahead and went after Jabra instead. As you can see here, this is not optimal at all. I don't even know what I was doing. To be honest, I thought this was a rip run multiple times, and this is one of the first points where I'm like, crap, time to reset. But I went through it anyways. You just have a lot of HP with the Jinbei ship, and also keep in mind, guys, that these sockets are pretty much maxed out. You got max auto heal and max damage reduction, so it does actually end up coming in handy in a lot of spots. But of course, if you have a Gear 4 team, yours is probably going to be really good as well. If you don't have Rayleigh, you could probably replace him with a paralysis reducer. I don't really know which fighters do that necessarily, but actually Rayleigh was mainly just there to remove paralysis, although there is one point where he does actually on the Blackbeard boss help out, do a little bit more damage. But other than that, this room is pretty easy. Like I said, leave Kaku or Jabra, whichever one you want, and then go ahead and take him out. Now this room is kind of difficult because you get all your orbs locked and you get your specials locked, so you definitely have to take one hit no matter what. And then you can take them out in 2 cycles if you hit all your perfects. I decided to go ahead and stall a little bit, try to get some more cooldown, because I did mess up on the Jabra stage, so I did end up taking another hit just so I can get 3 extra turns of stalling. And yeah, overall though, Moria, just hit him with your perfects, you should be fine. And then here we go, guys. This is the first room where we'll really take use of our specials. Sentomaru is locked, so you have to go ahead and take him out first. 2 Gear 4 specials will do enough damage to take him out. Unfortunately, your captain is silenced for 4 turns, so you're not going to be doing as much damage as normal, but you should be fine here. I would definitely try to take out Kizaru first. That is your goal. If you can take him out in 2 turns, then that is really good. However, I think I ended up taking him out in 3 turns. Now every turn Kizaru will do damage, 10% damage, percent cut, and also he'll randomly change your orbs. So if you get him below 50 or below 20, he'll do more percent damage than that. So just try less. That's what I'm saying. Try to take him out in 2 turns if you can. But again, it's not that big of a deal. Remember guys, when you have double Gear 4, you end up taking a lot less damage. I mean, you have I think somewhere between around 80% damage reduction, so it's pretty crazy. So don't be afraid to get too crazy, because even if you do get him like 20% like I did here, I still am able to survive. With that said, these pacifistas do have a lot of defense. If you can take out one of them, I would definitely recommend doing so. you guys have to have what's her name, Ivankov. You have to have Ivankov ready in this room. So that's one of the tricky things about it, is because in the next room you will get poisoned. So you do need to have Ivankov ready to go if you don't want to take a lot of damage, and it will double each turn. It's like the toxic from Magellan. So unfortunately I did use Ivankov here, but these guys, you know, they don't do that much damage, so it's not too bad in terms of stalling. I believe they do about 13,000 every 3 turns, so it should be pretty easy with auto heal sockets and stuff. By the way, guys, be using Sanji every turn, his level 1 special, because level 1 reduces by 50%, I believe, and then it's every 5 or 6 turns. I think my Sanji is actually missing a cooldown, but I'm not sure. So make sure to constantly be using that level 1 special, because it'll always be up. You know, you can have a lot of extra damage reduction if you keep using his level 1 to keep tanking hits. And that's something I kept forgetting to do in the first run. Second run, I was conscious of it, although I think I missed 1 or 2 spots where I could have used Sanji. But that is one of the best ways to survive these dungeons, is to use that to tank some hits. So here we go, guys. Like I said, Magellan will toxic you, so that is actually something that you have to keep in mind. But again, it doesn't really matter. We have Ivankov. You could potentially, if you were 1 turn off, you could take 1 turn, I guess, but you really don't want to risk it. You don't want to take damage. Rayleigh gets rid of the paralysis, so he's really good, like I said there. Gear 4 will take on both of the girls in the back, and then just take on Magellan and stall on Hannibal. Hannibal, I believe, does 7,150 every 2 turns, so it should be pretty easy to stall on. No big deal. And Magellan is obviously a purple unit, so yellow is really easy to take him out. Don't forget to Marco. You know, you don't necessarily have to Marco here, but you know, I figured since I'm going to go ahead and stall for my specials, I might as well Marco here, and then he'll be pretty much ready for whenever the next time I need him. You really don't use Marco that often. I think you use it here, you use it in the Luffy room, and then you use it in the Blackbeard room. So you only use him 3 times, but do feel free to use him if you are in a pinch and maybe in a different situation. But overall, Hannibal, really easy. I believe he only has 330 HP, so do keep in mind that. So if you are stalling on him, don't go overboard. It's really easy to take him out without meaning to. And he doesn't do anything below 20, so you don't have to worry about putting him below 20%. Yeah, so that's pretty easy right there. Next up, we got the 17th floor. So we're getting closer. This is the Navy floor. So on this one, you have a lot of powerful characters here. Both Hina and Smoker will do things when they die. I believe that let me see. One will lock your orbs, obviously Hina, and then the other one will I think shuffle your orbs or something. The other thing to keep in mind, really important, is again just take out Hina and Smoker first, because if you take out Sengoku, I believe somebody, I think Hina and Smoker will. If you take out Sengoku, Hina and Smoker will seal your captains for 10 turns apparently. So definitely don't do that. Make sure to take out the 2 in the back, take out Sengoku, and stall on Garp. Now Garp looks like he's going to be doing around 17,000 every 3 turns. So again, you get to tank a hit with Gear 4, and then hopefully you have enough stall there to be able to tank a few more hits. Don't get in below 20. Garp will take you out below 20, so definitely do not do that. That's something that you don't want to do. So go ahead and stall a good amount. What you definitely don't want to do though, do not heal before going to the next room, because the next room, as soon as you enter, you will take 80% damage. So don't worry too much about healing. And other than that, just stall a good amount. Try to get your specials ready, and then you should be okay. So here we go. As I said, you take 80%. So don't wait to use Marco until after. That's why I left a little bit early there, but it's all good. Go ahead and Gear 4. We only need 1 turn of Gear 4 here, because again we will be stalling and we only need to take out 1 unit. So go ahead and take out the Luffy first. However, guys, it is going to be really important that you put up a damage reducer on top of Gear 4, because Ace, pretty much if you defeat one, the other will do something else. So if you defeat Ace first, then Luffy will lock, I think, your characters for 15 turns, like your character specials. I'm not too sure. I think that's what he does. And then I think then Luffy, if you take out Luffy first, Ace will pretty much one-shot you. But with double Gear 4, 80% damage reduction, then an extra from Ivankov, then you will definitely be okay. Make sure to heal up as well with Marco. And as you can see here, he's going to be able, and again, it doesn't even have to be his turn. He'll do it the first turn if you do take him out on the first turn, so definitely be careful there. Now, the most important part of this whole dungeon is right here. You have to stall for Gear 4 level 2 special before you go into the next room, because the next room will put an orb debuff where you'll get less chance of matching orbs, which pretty much will spell the end of the run. So you have to go ahead and stall for level 2 Gear 4 special here, and then go ahead and use it to take out Ace. So that's really important. Make sure to stall on Ace as much as you can. Make sure you have to get that up, otherwise it is over. And then here we go, guys. As you can see, one of the characters will put up the orb debuff, but it won't work because we have the Gear 4 orb buff. Now this means that you only have one turn with one Gear 4 in terms of that buff, but we do pop the other Gear 4, and we have to take out Shiryu in 2 turns, or he will blow away one of your units. So Shiryu is a must kill unit right here. And I went ahead and attacked Burgess here. You want to stall on him, so if I would have been able to swap units, it would have made things a lot easier. But now my Luffy is locked, and oh yeah, I actually use Rayleigh here. So another reason to use Rayleigh is you can go ahead and unlock your Luffy, and now you're dealing a lot of damage. You have to take out, again, the 2 in the back because you do want to stall on Burgess. Unfortunately, I ended up just a little bit damage short. And again, like I said, this run is very, very bad, but we managed to beat it anyway. So if you guys can definitely find ways to improve it, you guys will probably have a way better run. So as you can see there, all he'll do below 50 is put numb you for 5 turns, numb a random character. So not too bad, not too bad. And I believe that what's his name, Doc Q will do 10% damage. So again, take those guys out. Now all that is left is Burgess, who looks like he's doing 12,000 damage every 2 turns, so that is a lot. But here what you want to do is try to stall as much as you can. Make sure you leave your Marco special up so you have that for the final boss. And you want to go in with 3 when it's 3 turns, because then that'll make it to 2 turns. Preemptive will make it 1 turn, and you don't have to worry about Blackbeard in the first turn. Now if you are maybe at 5 turns, you could still potentially do it. I think you will be able to. It's just a lot safer if you're able to stall for 3 turns. If you're able to stall for max, or that's fine as well. But really, you can leave when you have 3 turns left on your Gear 4. Now he's down to 1, like I said. The first turn here, you're just going to attack normally. Keep in mind, guys, Blackbeard has 8 million HP, so that is a lot of HP. It's really insane. Actually, I'm not too sure if Blackbeard has a preemptive. He might not have a preemptive. So keep that in mind. I didn't realize that he didn't have one. Now, the other thing to keep in mind is don't Rayleigh yet. If your Rayleigh is up and you're trying to stall him, because he will clear debuff. So I'll mention when to use Rayleigh later. But here we go, guys. Gear 4. You're gonna go ahead and pop both Gear 4s and just do as much damage as you can in 3 turns. Now you want to pop it when he's at 1 turn of attack, because that way you can tank 2 hits from Blackbeard, because you're going to tank 1 hit on the first attack, and then 2 attacks later you'll still have it at the end of the turn, so you'll be able to tank another hit. And so that's going to prevent a lot of damage, and then you'll have Marco up to be able to heal even more. So here we go, guys. The whole point is to get him as close to 0 as possible. He doesn't have a below 20, so you don't have to worry about that. The only thing he does have is below 50%. He will cut your HP by 50%, and then he'll slot seal for 2 turns. I'm not too sure what that means, I forgot, but it will happen here in a second. So again, just deal as much damage as you can. And again, I'm saving that Sanji special because I don't need it right now. I'd rather be able to tank a hit later on. And once your Gear 4 is over, you're going to want to stall for the level 1 special and then take him out. So the strategy, once you reach this part, and you have with this team, it's pretty much a GG if you have your specials up. So here we go, we're going to take another hit. Okay, so yeah, so now I put him below 50. He's going to go ahead and cut my HP 50%. And then he's going to slot sealed for 2 turns. So I guess he just gets rid of my orbs. Yeah, he gets rid of my orbs for 2 turns. But again, that's no big deal. So Rayleigh, if you do have Rayleigh, here's an awesome opportunity to use him. Don't use him yet, use him in the next turn, but I'll explain why it's really awesome. Definitely heal up, and then just go ahead and take out the first turn. Now next turn, when he's at 1 turn cooldown, go ahead and pop Rayleigh. That will delay him, and then that will trigger Blackbeard's special effect. But because he's already at 1 turn, it doesn't really matter. The fact that he cancels out any buffs doesn't matter. What you want here is to be able to have your captain abilities again up and running, so you can deal as much damage as you can, leading up to that final turn of burst. Now you're at this point, you're just waiting for Gear 4 to have that level 1 special, and at that point you've pretty much won the game. The best thing to do here, just make sure that when you are going to go for the win, that you get rid of any blue orbs that you got, because those are the only orbs that don't count as matching. And so in the meantime, as you can see, you have even call. If you need to use Sanji, you can use Sanji as well, although I'd rather save him for an orb booster. But again, it's one of those things where it really, this whole dungeon is about versatility. What characters do you have up. You don't have to follow the exact formula. You could do it in your own way. As long as you're able to stall and keep in mind that your Gear 4 has damage reduction, then you should be perfectly fine. So here we go, guys. By the way, I guess I haven't mentioned this, but he does 21,000. He does 21,000 every 2 turns. So he does deal a lot of damage. If you don't have damage reduction, you will be in a bit of a pickle here. So make sure you have your specials ready to go. And with that said, here we go, guys. Here's the final turn. I went ahead and got rid of my blue orbs, popped double Gear 4 level 1. I'm gonna go ahead and pop Sanji, although again he's not really necessary at this point. And yeah, this is gonna be it. The funny thing is, guys, even if we mess up here, because of the damage reduction from Gear 4, we will still actually have another 2 turns of attacks. So this is, again, pretty safe team. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I know it's not the most free-to-play team ever, but again, it's something that the chat requested, and people really enjoyed this run on stream. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the run. Now here is the Blackbeard raft. I'm not too sure what the official name for it is. Now it is a Blackbeard themed ship, which means that you want to use it with a team of the 4 types. You have to have all 4 types: fighter, shooter, slasher, and impact. And then on top of that, it gives, I think, 1.55 attack, it gives some HP, and I believe it does some special cooldown reduction at the start of the dungeon. So overall, a very, very good ship if you run Cavendish Blackbeard, Sanji Blackbeard, Blackbeard, so anything like that. It's a really awesome ship. So thanks again, guys. Talk to you guys in the next video. Until then, peace.